If you're here because of the rosemary water trend, you've probably already hit the annoying part. Buying fresh rosemary constantly adds up fast. Store-bought sprigs turn brown in your fridge within a week. And here's the thing almost nobody doing this trend realizes. One healthy rosemary plant can actually become 5, 6, 10 plants for free without buying a single new one. Today, how to grow it, keep it alive, and multiply it so you've got a permanent supply instead of a grocery bill. Quick myth check before we get into growing it, because I'm not going to oversell this to you. Myth: rosemary water is basically magic for hair growth. Fact: the oil form has real studies behind it, including one comparing it to a common hair growth treatment with genuinely promising results. Rosemary water, the version most people actually make at home, delivers a much lighter dose of those same compounds. Real, but modest. Worth knowing before you build a whole routine around expecting dramatic results. Here's the single most important thing to get right, and it's the reason so many rosemary plants die within weeks of coming home. Drainage. Rosemary is a Mediterranean plant, used to rocky, fast-draining soil. It does not tolerate sitting in wet soil, ever. Use a pot with an actual drainage hole, no exceptions, and go with terracotta or unglazed ceramic if you can. These breathe and wick away excess moisture, which matters more for rosemary than almost any other herb you'd grow. Start with a pot 8 to 10 inches wide for a young plant, sizing up to at least 12 inches as it matures. Skip a heavy potting mix entirely. Rosemary wants a gritty, fast-draining blend. Mixing regular potting soil with coarse sand or perlite, roughly half and half, gets you close to what it actually wants. This is where almost everyone goes wrong, and it's not from underwatering. It's from loving the plant too much. Rosemary wants to dry out significantly between waterings. Check the top 2 inches of soil. If it's even slightly damp, wait. Watering on a fixed schedule, out of habit, is the single fastest way to kill a container rosemary plant. Here's the part that trips people up specifically. Rosemary doesn't dramatically wilt when it's struggling, the way most plants do. The needle-like leaves can look completely fine, while the roots underneath are already rotting. By the time you see visible damage, the problem's usually been happening for a while. Don't judge rosemary's health by how it looks. Full sun. As much as you can give it, 6 hours minimum. Rosemary is used to intense direct sun along rocky coastlines, and it genuinely struggles in shade, growing leggy and weak instead of full and fragrant. If you're growing it indoors specifically for the hair trend angle, a south-facing window is close to the minimum. And a grow light is a real upgrade if your space doesn't get consistent direct sun. Here's the part that actually delivers on endless supply: propagation, and rosemary is genuinely one of the easiest herbs to do this with. Snip a 4 to 6 inch piece of new, flexible growth, not the old woody stems. Strip the leaves off the bottom 2 inches, and either place it directly in water until roots appear in a few weeks, or dip the cut end in rooting hormone and place it straight into the same gritty soil mix you used for the parent plant. The success rate on rosemary cuttings is genuinely high compared to a lot of herbs. This is one plant where just try it actually works more often than not. Once a cutting has a solid root system, a few inches long, it's ready for its own pot. Do this every few months from your original plant, and you go from one rosemary plant to a small forest of them without spending anything beyond the one plant you started with. Good news here too. Rosemary handles regular harvesting well. Snip sprigs from the top and outer growth, never more than about a third of the plant at once. Regular light harvesting actually encourages fuller, bushier growth, rather than harming it. One of the few plants where using it constantly makes it healthier, not weaker. For the actual hair routine, you've got two options, and they're not the same thing. Rosemary water. Fresh sprigs simmered gently in water for 10 to 15 minutes, then cooled and strained. Quick, but a lighter dose of the active compounds. Rosemary oil infusion is the stronger option, and the one with more research behind it. Pack fresh, dry sprigs into a clean jar, cover completely with a carrier oil like jojoba or olive oil, and let it sit somewhere dark for 2 to 4 weeks, shaking it every few days. Strain out the rosemary, and what's left is a genuinely potent infused oil. Store it in a cool, dark place, and it keeps far longer than the water version, which should be used within about a week before the compounds degrade. If your rosemary does start declining, root rot from overwatering is the cause the vast majority of the time. Not pests, not nutrients. Signs include a musty smell from the soil, blackened or mushy stems near the base, and leaves yellowing and dropping despite good light. Catch it early, and stopping water completely while the soil dries out fully, sometimes over a week or more, followed by a much lighter routine, can save it. If the base is already soft and blackened, that's usually too far gone, and the more useful lesson is prevention next time. One more real risk if you're growing this long term. Rosemary isn't reliably cold hardy below about 30 degrees Fahrenheit outdoors. Bring the pot indoors before your first frost. One of the real advantages of a container over the ground, since you can just move it when the weather turns. One healthy container plant, kept alive with the right drainage and watering, realistically pays for itself within a couple of months, compared to buying rosemary constantly. And once you start propagating it, you're not just breaking even. You've got more rosemary than you'll ever actually use. For your hair routine, for cooking, or to just hand a cutting to someone else who's doing the same trend and buying it from the store every week without realizing they didn't have to. If you're building out more of a container herb garden beyond this one trend, check out the mint video next. Same container growing logic, completely different plant, and one that spreads even more aggressively than rosemary does if you're not careful with it.